With all the very latest where you are now, it's the ITV News.
Noswaith dda. At last the results are all in and Labour have emerged clear winners here in Wales, securing 30 seats, exactly half the Senedd. Our political editor Adrian Masters is with me tonight. Adrian, how significant is this?
It's a clear Labour victory, Kate, and it's taken long enough, hasn't it? You know, we've been looking at this image all through yesterday and all through the night, all through today. It's finally all filled up, and this is the way the Senedd chamber is looking. So, yes, Labour's got clear half of that. The Conservatives, after an emotional rollercoaster, will be pleased now with their best ever result and a good second place. And even Plaid Cymru, although disappointed at not going further, has gained a seat and is still got a strong presence in the chamber. But the results have still been coming through today. They've been the regional results. I'll talk you through some of them, starting with South Wales East, which has 4 seats, and they went 2 Conservatives and 2 Plaid Cymru. So that was the last chance for some of the smaller parties to get seats. They were all squeezed out. South Wales Central was the other result we got today, and that was 2 Conservatives, 2 Plaid Cymru. So it's the way the regions used to be. There was one other one early this morning in the early hours, Mid and West Wales, and it was it's a different result. Plaid Cymru, 2 Labour and 1 Lib Dem. Now that Lib Dem, Jane Dodds, is going to become quite important because if you remember back in the Senedd chamber, Labour has enough, half of the seats, which means it's enough to govern, but at some stage it's going to have to do some deals, which makes the 1 Lib Dem quite important for Mark Drakeford as he forms his new government and becomes First Minister again.
Well, Mark Drakeford, the Labour leader, was out celebrated in Porthcawl today. Our correspondent Dean Thomas Welsh caught up with him.
All the polls in the lead up to this election had the Conservatives dampening a Labour party. As it was Labour that rained on everyone's parade, particularly here in Bridgend, which was a key target for the Conservatives, but was emphatically won by Labour's Sarah Murphy. She, along with First Minister Mark Drakeford, braved the elements in Porthcawl today to savour the result. 30 seats, just one short of a majority. The only question left in this election is how the next Welsh Parliament will look.
Well, we've demonstrated in the past that you can operate successfully on 30 seats. But my approach to it all is this, that no party has a monopoly of ideas. Where there are parties have ideas that we have in common, then I'm prepared to work with any party, even the Conservative Party.
I have to say, you know, Brexit was huge. It was very divisive in our community. We were almost totally split down the middle, and you did have families, friends falling out over it. You know, proper big arguments, long-lasting arguments. It just wasn't coming up on the doorstep this time.
It's not often that a party gains seats in an election and reflects with feelings of disappointment. Although such was the confidence of the Welsh Conservatives in the run-up to this election, being unable to make more inroads in North Wales will rankle with the party. Elsewhere, it was also disappointment for Plaid Cymru, none more so than in the Rhondda, where it was a case of Buffy the Valley Slayer, as Labour's Elizabeth Buffy Williams toppled former Plaid leader Leanne Wood.
How do you react when you see Buffy the Valley Slayer, Buffy the Plaid Slayer? How do you react?
I'm like, but like I said, it was always going to happen, wasn't it? You know, it's perfect, isn't it? It's perfect. So, yeah, I've got used to it now.
I think that there were lots of factors that have really coalesced together. The pandemic, the fact that devolution has come into its own, which obviously is a really positive thing, and people have been so much more aware of what the Welsh Government has done. The Labour Party and government have been so much more visual over the past year. With all the different factors that have been at bay, it was always going to be a challenging election.
The Lib Dems dropped their only constituency seat as they yet again lost ground in Wales, and as for UKIP and abolished the Welsh Assembly Party, well, they were abolished at the polls. Despite the party's struggles in England and Scotland, the Labour vote in Wales once again remained strong. Dean Thomas Welch, ITV News.
Now the hard work starts, Adrian.
Indeed, for Mark Drakeford, he has to go through the formal process of becoming First Minister. That's most likely to happen next Wednesday. And then once that's over, the Queen has to approve his appointment. I'm sure she will. There won't be any trouble there. He's talking to Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, tonight. They're both coming off the back of good results for each other, so they'll have plenty to talk about. None of this detracts from his victory, but it's not going to be plain sailing because, as I pointed out to you earlier on, he's got half of the seats. That's good for him, but it's not absolutely out of the woods. If the Conservatives and Plaid Cymru manage to get their act together further down the line, they could cause trouble for Mark Drakeford. That's for the future. For now, there's a clear answer: victory for Labour.
Thank you, Adrian. Well, let's get the weather now. Here's Helen Plint.
Hello again, a very good evening to you. It may not seem it right now, but the end of the rain is in sight. Clearing out overnight tonight, leaving sunshine and showers behind as temperatures also return to average. But southern areas especially still copping plenty of downpours through this evening and overnight. Weather warnings in place for flash flooding as well until around midnight. Thereafter, though, things do quieten down. We gradually lose the gusts, some clearance overhead, and actually temperatures holding up very well overnight tonight. So where we get some sunshine tomorrow, and there will be a bit of that, especially in the morning, it's actually going to feel pretty pleasant out there. The showers, though, pack in behind things. So as a result, especially in northern areas, downpours through the afternoon.
That's it for the moment. You can keep up to date with the rest of the day's news on our website, itv.com/Wales. But for now, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.